Hey, I'm Josh and this is GameMax First Look, where we talk you through our latest products, their capabilities and any hidden features you might not know about. Today we're looking at the GameMax Muted. Let's do it! Starting with the front panel, you'll immediately notice the brushed effect that it's got on it. Towards the bottom, there's a black and silver GameMax badge, and around the edge, there's an indent. In that indent, you actually have the vents to take air into your case. Now, the vents don't have a dust filter behind them, and that's because they're cleverly angled to allow as much air as possible in, whilst minimising the amount of dust that can get into your case. Around the back of the case, you have the usual, your motherboard I/O space. You have space for a 120 exhaust fan, a generous 10 removable expansion slots, and of course space for your PSU at the bottom rear. Underneath, there's a removable dust filter where your PSU sits to protect it from dust and any other nasties lurking on the floor. The feet span the width of the case and provide a good clearance from the floor to give you optimal airflow. You'll find the I/O port located at the top front of the case, and on the I/O port there is two USB 3.0, two fan controllers, hard drive activity light, reset switch, power switch, LED button, headphone jack, mic jack and two USB 2.0. On top of the case you also have two noise reduction magnetic pads. Now they're split into two, so that should you need to allow some extra air into your case and you don't want to compromise on noise dampening completely, you can just remove one. On the outside they're a matte black, and on the inside they've got the noise dampening material. The right hand panel is exactly as you'd expect from any kind of silent case. It's held in the back by two thumb screws, has a little handle to easily slide off. The front of it is a plain metal with a nice gloss look to it, and the inside of it is covered in sound dampening material. And finally moving to the left hand side panel. If you haven't already guessed, it's a full acrylic side window, held in place by grooved thumb screws that have rubber padding on them to help minimise vibration. On the inside it sits flush on metal standoffs, and around the lip, all the way around the case, there's even more soundproofing material to absolutely minimise noise or vibration. The case has a height of 516mm, width of 225 and a depth of 502mm. It's a MIDI tower case, meaning it can support a motherboard size of ATX, Mini ATX and Micro ATX. Overall, it's kept really clean with a PSU shroud along the bottom, grommets for tidy cable management and some smaller cutouts should you need them. It has 6 internal drive bays in total, with a support for 2 3.5 inch drives and 4 2.5 inch drives. The Muted can support 7 fans in total. You can fit 3 120 or 140 fans at the front, 3 120 or 2 140 fans at the top, and a 120 or 140 fan at the back. It's also water cooling ready, and you can fit a 360 at the front or top depending on your needs. The chassis has a thickness of 0.8mm, a max GPU length of 400mm and a max CPU height of 175mm. Now, if you haven't seen this little thing here before on the PSU shroud, that allows you to mount your graphics card vertically, and with it being one of the most expensive and best looking parts of your build, why wouldn't you? Moving to the back of the case, you can see that you've got plenty of points for cable ties. The grommets are secured in nice and tight. You've got space for your PSU, you got your hard drive trays. In the bottom hard drive tray you should have your accessory box, and there is a generous 24mm of cable management depth, so you can keep everything nice and tidy. Alright, that wraps up the first look at the GameMax Muted case. Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe or share depending where you see this video. See you later.